Hey guys, Salt Yak coming at you here from beautiful Caladesi Island, and I want to talk to you with a one-year review on one of my favorite boats, okay? This is our Hobie Compass and the Camo Edition. A few basics about this boat that I have found in my using it over the last year. This boat is simple. It takes a bit of a minimalistic approach to things. That helps keep the cost down. If you look, I think the cost of the Compass is somewhere around $3,000 for you, but it keeps the cost low by keeping some of the bells and whistles down, some of the stuff that we don't necessarily need. But here's what it does have. Come on in here and let me show you a few things. You've got a small cargo hold here with a net over it, so oftentimes we'll put our little lunch box here or an extra tackle box here, and this net helps to keep it secure. Or we'll keep a towel wrapped up in there with our sunscreen and all that kind of stuff. Then as you move back the boat, you do have two sets of gear tracks. So sometimes we have a fish finder here, or we'll have rod holders here. We'll have rod holders here. None of that stuff is attached at the moment because today this boat's just on a cruise. She's not fishing today. Then right here under your feet, you do have a cargo container. And as you can see, Erin's got a few snacks and she's got her phone in there. Everything stays absolutely dry in there. That's a waterproof hatch that closes and latches well. The next thing you'll see is this bungee cord. A lot of folks ask me, what's that bungee cord for? It's kind of weird. Well, let me show you what that's for. This is your pedal drive, okay? And as we're pedaling and we start getting into shallow water, we've got this sticking under our boat, right? So what we do, we kick one foot all the way forward. That makes the flippers lay up flat underneath the boat. And just for demonstration purposes, let's imagine right now that it's installed and they're under the boat. Then you can take this bungee cord and hook it to that pedal, and it holds them in that flat position for you. So that's what that cord's for. The seat has minimal adjustment, but it's been plenty for us. In our opinion, it wasn't quite as comfy as we would like, so Erin's added a gel memory foam cushion to give her a little extra cushy for her tushy. But you can adjust the angle of the back. After the seat, we come back to our rear cargo hold, and you see it's got quite a bit of space. I mean, that's a milk crate and a cooler, and there's still room to spare. So plenty of space there. So that's sort of the physical aspects of the boat. Then the mechanical side of things, how the boat operates. Obviously, we've talked about the drive. You can look at Hobie's website, they'll tell you all about how this drive was engineered. But the bottom line, this was inspired by a penguin's flippers. Hobie. It's incredibly efficient. You won't believe how smooth and quiet it is on the water. And when you lock that thing into place here, which we can't do because we're on the beach at the moment, the fins are in the water underneath the boat. And these metal fins lock into these two cradles and lock down, and it's secure. So even if something tragic happened and you rolled this boat over, it's not gonna fall out. It's gonna stay where it's supposed to be. So that's our propulsion. Next is, now we're moving, how do we steer, right? The boat has a rudder out the back. You'll see it over here. It's currently stored in the all the way up position because Erin came up on the beach, so she had to pull that rudder up. But to drop the rudder, this is the control for it. So all you do is sort of pop it loose, boom, and now the rudder is dropped. I'm gonna pull it back up because it's on the sand, okay? One last thing that's a standard feature on the Hobie, on the Compass rather, is how we store the paddle. Here's your paddle, and that's for like whenever we get in a situation where it's just too darn shallow for the drive and we have to lock it in that up position, you grab your paddle to get the rest of the way onto the beach or to launch. And it stores just like that on the side of the boat. And then the bungee cord just grabs that hook there, and that's where she rides. We've had this boat for a year. We've used it a ton. It's spent a lot of its life in fresh water, and it's spent the last few months in salt water. Almost every day for the last month or two it's been in salt water. Our opinions on this boat, it's fantastic, okay? The strengths are what I talked about earlier. Maneuverable, fast, easy to operate. The cons, sort of where this boat maybe falls a little short, in my opinion, for the things I do. We haul 4 kayaks at a time every day. We have a trailer that hauls 2 down low and 2 where I call it in the penthouse, upstairs. This boat lives in the penthouse because it's the lightest one in the fleet. Getting it up there is not easy, right? It's not terribly heavy. It's actually, I think it only weighs about 90 pounds. It's not very heavy. But here's the challenges to loading this boat for me. Take a look here, Aaron, show them this. This is our only grab, our only hold on the bow of the boat. And it's just not great because it's on a cord, right? So typically I wind up actually having to cradle the whole front of the boat to lift it. Not my favorite. Same thing on the back of the boat. On the bow, the only grab on the Compass is the same deal. A little handle on a paracord. Not the best scenario because when you lift it, it's unstable. It wants to rock around on you and twist on you as you're lifting up on the trailer. So again, I usually wind up having to cradle the whole boat to lift it up onto the trailer. Not my favorite. One other thing that could be better is where we store that paddle over here on the right side. It's fine, but sometimes I want to move it to the left for one reason or another. And that's usually because on the right over here is also where I have my anchor trolley. When we use a sand spike and we want to spike down in the flats, or when we're in deeper water and I drop anchor and I need to tie off to my anchor line, it's in the way of my paddle. Everything's on top of each other here. So I wish I had an option to be able to put the paddle on the left side. Those are the only 2 weaknesses. Not a lot of grab points and no option for putting the paddle on the left side. The only other thing I didn't tell you is that the rudder control, your steering control, on the Compass is only on one side. It's only here on the left. And that may be why there's no paddle hold there, because it would be in the way of your rudder control.
A few moments later.
So at the end of the day, guys, if I'm gonna rate this boat on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it about an 8, which is super good, right? It got a B rating. All the good, that it's stable, that it's fast, that it's easy to operate and easy to control. The only 2 bad things, honestly, I wish it had more grab points for loading and unloading, and I wish I could put that paddle on the left. That's it. It's an awesome boat for your money. I would highly recommend it. I think you'll be pleased with it.